Good evening, traders. It's your professor here, and today we're going to be doing a post-market recap. Now, the purposes of these post-market recaps is to highlight our trades and highlight the success of the STX model. And by doing so, you guys actually get the education and the knowledge to see how we function, and hopefully this information can help you with your future trading journey. So for existing members that are still trying to learn this model and still trying to grasp how the model works and how we use it to our advantage, this is for you. And for new people that are looking for a new mentor, that needs someone that has confirmations of successful results. Personally, I trade like a turtle. Over time, my profits have grown me to become where I am today, where I can trade and live off it successfully. I don't take aggressive risks, and most of my trades range between 100 to 300%. I don't see any trader doing that consistently, and I don't even brag about my trades that much, right? So the reason why I do this is just so I can help others and build a strong community going forward. But definitely, there's a lot of things that this model does. It's highly accurate, and I would like to share this information with everyone and for the world to see that option trading can be a fun and successful thing as long as you have the right process to it. So let's get into it. So first of all, I want to start off by going over what do we do at the beginning of every week. So at the beginning of every week, because I have such high confidence in my model, I give a prediction every Sunday. And this prediction is going to be in the market sentiment page. Yesterday we gave a prediction that basically we see the S&P 500 trading in chop range between 4180 to around 4200, and that's exactly what happened today. So let's get into the charts and let's go over exactly what happened with the model today. So as you guys can see over here, pretty much this was the high of the day range at 4208. Okay, so 4208 is our level 1 bullish. Now, level 1 bullish is a significant level because what it represents is pretty much the gatekeeper towards the upside and the downside, right? So this level is basically going to be the key level that holds back the market, and if it doesn't really gap through that specific point, then it's going to be hard for SPX to really get going, right? So that's what keeps the market pretty much in range. So sorry, my apologies. That happened over here. I was looking at the wrong point. So that's level 1 right over there. And that's exactly at 4208. Okay, so we give these numbers pre-market right in the beginning, and our levels aren't just any ordinary levels. We actually explain what they mean, right? So level 1, bullish / bearish, is the level that is a gatekeeper. If you break above that level, the next level is level 2. Level 2 represents that trending level. So if you get above that level, that means the market is going to be trending towards that direction, and that's where you need to focus. Level 3 is all about the market top of the day. Now, this level can break in some cases, and that can mainly happen due to new information, new news that comes on the marketplace. But level 3 is going to be the top. Now, there is sometimes a level 4, and that is your extreme level 3 situation, but usually during a economic event. So let's just say FOMC or whatever the case might be. Okay, so whenever we hit these levels, we devise a strategy, and we trade amongst that strategy for any SPX or anything like that. Today, I'm actually proud that my members are starting to get a hang of this model. My senior members are already very confident with it. Personally, me, I knew that the market was going to be trading in range. I didn't take any SPX trades, but many scalpers in the chat actually took a reversal. So they took a put right at level 1 bullish and played the downside where SPX dropped around 10 points, and they took that profits on their SPX, which was a great thing to do at that 4280 mark that we gave in the chat room. So let me spread this out so that way we can see this in great detail, right? So definitely we'll work on my penmanship going forward, but I like to do this live so that way we can go over this. So anyways, 4208, they played the downside all the way to the WAP, which was at 4200-ish. Sorry, 4190 here at that time. And we also had news. So news came out today that there was a Pentagon explosion, or a facility around the Pentagon that exploded. Now this was totally fake news, but it caught everyone by surprise because it was an AI generated situation, and that caused a massive drop from around 4200 to our level 1 over here. Okay, level 1 bearish. So seeing that big candlestick wasn't something that really freaked me out, because when something like that happens, it's always a good idea to really sit tight and wait for further confirmations. And that's exactly what we did, because this new AI powered situation is going to be a big problem going forward. And I didn't know it was going to be AI, but I definitely mentioned later in the chat that that's one of the big problems that we see. Now, the reason why SPX stopped at level 1 bearish, like I said, level 1 bearish represents the gatekeeper towards the downside. It's what holds the market in place inside that range, inside that pocket, right? And this here is all mathematically calculated. I calculate this every morning at 5 a.m., going over pre-market futures, going over option premiums the following day, the week of, and the month of. So there's a lot of back-end work that I do on myself to go over these numbers. So there just aren't any ordinary numbers. What I do with those calculations is I input them into a chart, which I use for illustration purposes. Okay, so the chart, this has nothing to do with charts, because if you look at the charting level, like how would you know that 4182 represents like a very strong inflection point? So that's exactly what happened over here. And we definitely played that as well. But entirely based off the news and so forth, this is a prime example of how the model works. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is my personal trades that I did today. So today we had two trades. We had ZS, which is Zscaler. It's a cybersecurity company. And they actually, last week, they pre-announced their earnings, giving an upgrade. Sorry, this was 2 weeks ago. And then the following week, it pretty much traded in range, didn't do much. And now it's fully breaking out as a leading tech stock over here. Okay, so they pretty much, the reason we got that is because we knew that Palo Alto, which is Pan W, had earnings on Tuesday. And, you know, with cybersecurity being a trend these days, we know that their earnings are going to be very good and strong. And pretty much we prepared about this in our weekly watch list. So if you guys watched that video, I pretty much said that, hey, this is what I love. I'm going to buy the stock right off the bat. I said it, and there it was, right? And we pretty much got that as well. So if we look at ZS, right? So this trade was our first trade of the week. Okay, let's see here. Why am I not being able? Sorry, guys. I'm just like the type of guy that likes to do everything right off the spot. Let's see here. Okay, there it is. So Zscaler is right there. We've seen strength in this, and that we pretty much seen that it has the capability of going to 140 this week, right? So that 130, very hard number to break. And actually, the funny thing here is that we also called the top outer for this. So I had 20 contracts of the 130 calls. They went up 120%. I decided to take half the profits. So I sold 10 and left the other 10 as runners. And I told my team that the ZS hard point on the 30 call was when it equals 3.3, okay? And funny thing is that if you look at the contracts for that, that was actually the high of the day. So how was I able to do that? You know, simple is my understanding of option premiums and how they work. Okay, so members took profits at 3.3. Some even got fills at 3.5, surprisingly, right? So that's great to see that as well. Okay, but definitely like ZS for Pan W earnings, and I'm going to be holding that because it's all profits and it's paid for. So the next one we're going to go over is Palo Alto. Now Palo Alto, so Palo Alto has earnings Tuesday after close. This stock here definitely in play, and pretty much has been moving alongside with ZS. Okay, so we do like that for earnings as well. I'm not going to play in earnings because I like ZS. The Palo Alto premiums are actually really expensive, so that's why I was avoiding that, and I used Zscaler as the other one as instead. Now the next one is UPST. Okay, so we were kind of late to the party here. However, I seen it as a great opportunity for a nice play. So we got the 30 calls at 80 cents. They ended up going up around 130%. Some people sold, but I held because I had a very small position. Seeing how this was moving, so this was up, huge amount to this week and has been pretty much flying. I have equity on this since it was worth $19. Okay, so we got equity at this at $19 per share, and we're basically up around 40% off holding stocks. I have around 2,000 shares for that. Okay, so did like this. Now the reason why this stock is pretty much moving like this is because the CEO has finally figured out that the thing that's holding the stock back is all these loans. Now, this is an AI company, right? So now that AI is trending, this stock has a huge potential to go. Has 30% short interest. So I see this stock down the road going to around 60 to even $100 in September or going forward. Can even go to maybe even 100 or maybe 200-300 again, right? So definitely going to be holding this. I'm not ready to write covered calls on this, but I do really like this stock, and I see it going to $40 this week. So if that happens, then our 30 calls that we got for 80 cents will be worth a minimum of around 10, depending on what time that lands, that 40 lands. So if that happens, that's 1,000% play right away. And I just bought $1,000. They went to around 130%. So great trade overall. And consider, guys, I can play six-figure trades if I want to, but I don't because for me, I like to sleep well at night. I like to know that I'm growing a community and that I can live off pretty much my sizing. So I've been doing 5 to 10 grand sizing and max 20 grand, and that has built over time. And I focus on consistency. What I've learned in my journey is that when you focus on consistency and play to amount that you're comfortable with, like I can easily do 40-50K positions if I want to show you the biggest screenshot and say boom. But at the end of the day, you're gonna be failing if you only care about how much a person makes. You should always focus on how well someone consistently works and what percentage they can do that. Okay, and the guidance matters the most. That's why I give you guys my prediction. That's why I don't call the bluffs. It's all in writing, timestamped, whatever you want to see. I give my positions before it even happens. Okay, so if I like a position, as soon as I'm buying it, you see my sizing, and I also pre-announce all my SPX plays. So if SPX 4200 call, let's say, is going for $15, right? I would say I put an alert to buy this 4200 call at $2, and even though if it's worth 15, people be like, huh? Why would you do that, right? Like, what's your point? What's going on? That's all the new members, right? But all the existing members know exactly how the professor thinks. Okay, so this is what I want you guys to take out from this, and hopefully we can see you guys in the free Discord, so that way you can see what I'm all about. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoy this post-market recap. We're going to be doing a lot of this because I have so many trades I could talk about all day, and I haven't been giving them love, but now I'm going to give them love, and you guys are going to see that for yourself. So thanks for tuning in. Let's get that money, and I'll see you guys in the next one.